Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight?
Steve, why do you think you're better than me and you don't ever have to send me a link?
You know, I completely forgot to send you the link off the jump. I was in a board meeting. It's still going on. I told them that I had to leave. I had a hard stop. And then I'm like, where's Matt? And then I see, oh, Steven, send link because I'm a freaking moron and I didn't send the link. What can I
Phone home,
say?
Steven.
What can I say? So I decided just to, get a sport jacket on for you, Matt, even though I have the wrong type of shirt underneath.
I like it.
You like it?
I like when you dress up for me, Steven.
Oh, it's coming off because I don't like sitting with a sport jacket on.
Well, sometimes you got to sit with a board jacket on, Steven.
Yeah, when I'm at work, not at home. But before we go on, ladies and gentlemen, please do Matt and I a favor. And please pause the video and read this disclaimer. Matt and I are not financial advisors. We are not your financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence. Please take everything we say with a grain of salt. We're just two guys sitting in rooms with somewhat of good lighting and, talking about the economy and stocks. Don't make any decisions based off of what we say. We know nothing. We're just doing research, entertainment, and educational purposes only. With that out of the way, you have a good day tonight, Matt?
Wasn't bad, Steven. Got some stuff accomplished. Cleaned out the garage a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I call you. You're cleaning out the garage. I'm like, man, you should be smoking a cigar right now. And he's working. Manual labor, this guy.
Manual labor. I feel like a single mother. I wash and I dry.
Did you just say what I think you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. I got to tell you, thank you everybody for joining. The chat is on fire. I love some of these comments. They're absolutely hilarious. Oh my God.
Nobody's in my chat because nobody knew that I was coming live because I got the link a minute before we went live. I'm just kidding, Steven. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So
I have nothing else to complain about, so I got to complain about something. So.
I mean, you're the guy that's wearing shades inside because your future's that bright. I really don't think you have much to complain about, sir.
You're not wrong.
What do you got there? You got a little Coca-Cola and a water?
Coke Zero, yeah, and a water.
Coke Zero. Okay.
Yeah, I had Chipotle, some carne asada.
Okay.
It was delicious.
All right. Well, Maddie, today was a tug of war with the market. If you didn't notice, did you notice?
I didn't. Didn't do. I checked in when I first got to the office. Didn't look healthy. I'll say that much. And then I haven't really taken a look. So everything's going to be a surprise, Steven. Talk me through it.
So before I do, just so everybody knows, I was nice and comfortable in my polo. And because Maddie comes on with a collared shirt and a nice vest, I actually had a sport jacket hanging within arm's reach. So I decided to put it on for Matt. But
I think you're lying.
It's coming off really soon.
Take it off.
It's coming off really soon.
Do a 360.
But
give us a
we
12.
got some economic data today, Matt. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. BLS employment situation, November showed up. Non-farm payrolls plus 64,000. But unemployment, 4.6%. We ticked higher. We are now at the highest point in years. Unemployment persons is 7.8 million. Labor force participants, 62.5%. Employment population ratio, 59.6%. Now,
not good, Steven.
Data may not necessarily be that clean because of the shutdown, but, I'm still wondering a very critical question. Why on earth are we dealing with surveys? Why? Why in this day and age can't we just know based off of who is paying taxes what the actual unemployment rate is? It's not hard. We know how many people are in the country.
You need something like Palantir for that, Steven. I don't think we're ready for that.
The U.S. government's a pretty big client, right?
You got to pay for it.
I'm just saying, the U.S. government's a pretty big client. We can't get real-time data. No, we pay taxes every 2 weeks.
Well, I guess everyone technically pays taxes. They just get refunds, right?
Right. You get it taken out of your paycheck, pay taxes, and then anybody who is operating a small business or an LLC, you're paying estimates quarterly. We have the data.
I don't know what
Just
to tell you,
saying.
Steven.
We have the data.
I mean, this is the sort of stuff that Elon was talking about with Doge, right? I mean, you want to do some small things like this, and there's going to be pushback because, I don't know, too much surveillance or something like that.
So it's going to be interesting to see where we go in a little bit. So October payrolls fell by 105,000, and this was due to the drop in government employment. They're saying November rebounded. This is theoretically good for cuts. This is theoretically good for pricing in. They're now, instead of pricing in 25 bips next year, they're pricing in 50 bips. I think it's going to be more. We'll see what happens. Retail sales were unchanged. Census release details, 3.5% up year over year.
I don't know. I mean, I think I don't necessarily know if this data is more bullish or if getting somebody that's more Trump, more of a Trump pick is going to be more bullish for Fed. So I don't know.
We think we're going to get Waller?
I haven't done enough due diligence to
All right.
come up with a solid pick.
All right. Well, how are you? So there's not much economic stuff. Thursday's the real day. Thursday, we're getting CPI. I mean, Wednesday, we're getting the MBA mortgage applications. Not too crazy about that. But Thursday's the Super Bowl for this week. CPI at 8:30 on Thursday. Then you got the initial jobless claims, Philly Fed and Kansas City Fed manufacturing reads. And then we are getting also core CPI. And on Friday, existing home sales at 10 a.m., University of Michigan sentiment at 10 a.m. also. So we got some interesting economic data. I think CPI is coming down. I think with energy where it is, food prices going where they are, I think CPI is coming down.
I think it'll stay flat.
All right, we'll see.
Well, to see, Steven.
So, Maddie, first question for you. You have a little wager with a person known as Tevis. So far, 25.
Yeah, where's that at? I haven't checked.
I mean, you're teetering. You were almost there. You were almost there yesterday. I mean,
where are we at, Steven?
This is no longer a lock for Tevis.
I went up today. Why did it go up, Steven?
Well, before we get into why it went up, this is no longer a lock for Tevis. So, where is SoFi? Where did it finish? It finished at 26.58. Matt and Tevis have an over-under of 25.
Me with the under.
And I got to tell you, it was getting pretty close. I mean, it was 25.78 yesterday.
Who do you think's going to win it out, Steven?
I don't know. Look, I won't be surprised if it retraces under 25. At the same time, nothing would surprise me at this point. I think it was a good bet when you made it. How about that?
It was a good bet when I made it.
It was a good when you made it. SoFi was where, 15?
Something around there.
So I would have made that bet too.
Yeah, I mean, I would not have expected it. And to be fair, it's a win-win for honestly, it was a win-win for all of us because people were like, Matt's an idiot. It's like, well, guess who also had shares at $15, like back when I made the bet. And then I think I sold it when it went to like above 26 or something like that. But I guess people are like sitting there like, Matt's an idiot. It's just like, well, I also SoFi is one of those positions that are in my auxiliary where it's like, whenever I get antsy and I decide I want to add another position and stop being so super concentrated, SoFi is like one of those positions that always comes in and out of the portfolio. Just because I think it's a great company. I think they're doing a good job. It's a great bank.
SoFi is a very well-run company. Hopefully, it gets
Say
a
it with me,
little-
Steven. It's a really well-run bank. Really
It's
well-run
a
bank.
really well-run company. It is a very well-run bank.
There you go.
How do you feel? Speaking about banks, how do you feel about PayPal getting in the banking game?
I did see that. Are you buying?
PayPal has a dark cloud that is never going to dissipate. Okay. I made a little bit of money on it. I think it should be much higher than it is. By the numbers, it is being continuously disrespected. And I'm at my wit's end as to what's going to make this actually get back to where it should trade. And I am not going to sit here and say 200, but fair value is probably more 90 to 110 than where it is here, considering it trades at 11 times free cash flow. Just saying.
So you're not buying.
No. I think there's too many good opportunities out there to be stuck in PayPal for a while.
What about whatever? Speaking of these sorts of fintech companies, whatever happened to you and Block? You were like big on Block like a year ago.
I was, and I got out a long while ago.
I feel like you made a little bit of money on it too, didn't you?
I don't know if I made. I think I broke even.
Okay.
I think it went down, it pumped, I got out, and then it fell again. But yeah, I'll never invest in Block again. The things were getting better, and based on the projections, it looked like it was undervalued. Then the problem was that they missed numbers, and the share-based compensation was still very excessive. It's just, I'm done with them. There's other opportunities.
You're a good man.
Well, the AI trade, Matt, is people are getting shook at the AI trade.
How so?
Well, people are looking at Oracle as the poster child for a bubble. They're looking at Oracle for debt. And it looks like after several sessions, Oracle and Broadcom may have bottomed out in the short term. I think we need another day or two. Both of them up today, I believe. And Broadcom is now trading at an interesting valuation. Have you looked at Broadcom's forward metrics?
No. What's it down to, Steve?
So Broadcom went from
It wasn't the 35 something or beyond.
So it went from 414 to 341 in the past 5 days.
It's not enough.
That's what I thought. But then I looked at the actual earnings, and I'm starting to change my mind. Would you humor me?
Yes.
And take a look. And I made it dark mode so I don't get yelled at by Tevis. Okay? I made it dark mode. And because all these companies report on freaking different freaking fiscal years, I have made different blocks in here for the fiscal years. Should I take bold off? Is it easier to say?
You're so industrious, Steven.
So NVIDIA and Walmart finished January 26, Microsoft June 26. Broadcom reports on an October basis, okay? So we're now in their 2026 fiscal year. So for this fiscal year, they're expected to do $10 of EPS, then $13.80, then $17.55. That means they're trading at 33.93 times this year's earnings and 19.45 2028 earnings with 75% earnings growth from the end of this year for the next 2 years. A lot of earnings growth, low forward multiple, and if they start getting orders to pick up, if these TPUs actually become bigger than what they are now, and Broadcom gets more deals materializing, this is becoming interesting at 341. Now, I would have liked it to fall under 300. The fact that it stopped falling, I'm starting to think that we're going to get a bunch of people moving in and trying to buy it up here. So we'll see what happens the next couple of days. But on a forward basis, this is starting to look interesting.
I didn't realize they had such good growth. I mean, I know they're masters in M&A and everything like that, but 75% in 2 years. It's pretty impressive.
It's nothing to freaking look past.
So you're full porting it?
We don't full port anything, but I will say Broadcom made onto the watch list. Made it onto the watch list, sir.
What is also on the watch list, Steve?
What is also on the watch list? Well, I don't have a full position in Amazon.
Is that proprietary information?
No, I'm pretty public about it. I'd like to buy more Amazon. I would like to buy more Microsoft. If Oracle can keep falling, I would like to get Oracle at a dirt cheap price, because at some point I could see Oracle getting over exaggerated to the downside. I don't think we're there yet. NVIDIA would be my number one pick, but I already have a large position in it and I really don't need more NVIDIA. But I am getting very interested in Broadcom and Oracle if they can continue to fall. Amazon's the one I want to keep picking up, though. How about you?
Yesterday I bought Palantir, Rocket Lab, NOG, Granite Ridge Resources, VG, Next, Dutch Brothers, Bitcoin, and Ethereum.
Can we have the Palantir conversation?
Sure.
You're not shook buying here?
It's going to be a $2 trillion company, Stephen. Why would I be shook buying?
Everyone, he just said that so nonchalantly. Stephen, it's going to be a $2 trillion company. What do you think I am? I mean, you guys heard that, right? We can rewind the tape. The way that just rolled off your tongue was freaking ridiculous. Amazing.
I mean,
I don't know.
This is the thing. This is the thing, Stephen. You know where I'm at. You know where I'm at, right? So everybody in the chat that's going to like rattle off and be like, Matt, you're an idiot. You can put that money elsewhere. It's like, yes, I see what you're saying. I could hyper focus in and be like, yes, I could try to get this extra 10% or something elsewhere. But sometimes you just need to put money in a savings account. And yeah, Palantir will probably go down in the short term, or maybe even get hit in the short term. But eventually it's going to be a $2 trillion company. Its products are better than anything that Microsoft is putting out. If you have an AI product where you need to feed in thousands of nodes of data on a regular basis, you're not using Microsoft Fabric. I'm sorry, you're just not. You might be using Azure Cloud. So not to say that Microsoft's not getting some of that business, but in order to appropriately pull in and stream that data, the time series data, and manipulate it, people are going to Palantir. And it's evident with things like Gecko Robotics, and even potentially SpaceX is using Palantir in some way, shape, or form. Like Palantir, I don't think that people fully comprehend, is eventually going to get to a place where they're in, I would say, 50% or more of Fortune 500 companies. And that point, once that happens, it's all about just scale. They're going to enter Microsoft mode. What add-on can we do for you? What additional tokens can we get through you so that we can generate slightly more revenue off of this potential deal? I don't think that people fully comprehend. It's like they're going to have $6 billion worth of capital on the balance sheet. They're printing money like nobody's business in terms of like the margins that they're getting, and it's only going to get better from here. So, I mean, yes, is it overvalued? For sure. You could say that it's lost money for the next couple of years. I get it. But at the same time, I don't think people understand the game that I'm playing anymore, Steven. I don't plan on selling a lot of these companies. Like, if I need money, I'll just borrow against the portfolio. Like, unless something truly changes about the companies that I have, Rocket Lab, Palantir, Amazon, Google. I mean, unless like Google for some reason is just like, actually, we're gonna go full woke and start being detrimental and listen to everything the EU wants us to do because the EU hates everybody. It doesn't want anybody to succeed. And yes, I just said that live on air. Come after me, EU.
Dude, you're not
And
going to be allowed to have tea and crumpets anymore.
I'll refrain from saying anything on that. Then there's a whole nother thing I have to tell you about off stream with that.
Oh boy.
But it will be nice. I'll be coming to New York for Amit's meetup. So that'll be
you're
nice.
going to be here?
Yeah, that was decided.
Love it.
I was hoping to go on a business trip, and I cannot go on that business trip.
Okay.
I'll explain to you offline why
All
not.
right.
But which you will laugh when I tell you.
So we're going to go get some ribeyes?
Yes, and I hope to get some ribeyes before the end of the year as well.
Well, we're going on
but I don't think that people fully understand the game that I'm playing, Steven. Like, I don't spend a lot of money.
You're playing chess when others are playing checkers. I get it.
It's not that. I'm not saying I'm outsmarting anybody. I'm not saying anybody. It's just I'm in a different level. Like, you don't see Elon wholesaling his entire Tesla position. He borrows against it. So unless I plan on exiting these companies because I think I have a better opportunity elsewhere, it just doesn't make sense. And do I think that Palantir is not going to be around? Sorry, I have the laundry going. Do I have... Okay, good. I have Palantir. Do I think it's not going to be around in 20 years? Why would I sell it? Same thing with Google. Same thing with Rocket Lab. So I do think I'm better than everyone.
I mean, that's why he's got he doesn't have a quarter zip on, ladies and gentlemen, but he's got
it's not even a quarter zip. It's a full zip, Steven.
Full zip vest.
Columbia.
Full zip.
Laundry person. I have a laundry person? The only people I have for laundry are the people that do my laundry at the Airbnbs.
Palantir scares me here. But as I said last night, I do believe it's a $1 trillion company in the future. I don't know when. I do not think it's in the next 2 years. And I do think that right now paying 498 times EBITDA is a little rich for Steven. But
Steven,
I do think that their Q3 print was one of the best prints I've ever seen from a company.
So you don't think that they'll hit, what was it, $5 billion in revenue next year?
I didn't say that. What I said is that paying 498 times EBITDA is a little rich for Stevie, and $5 billion in revenue next year should not be that hard when I'm expecting them to do 4.1 this year.
Say it with your chest, Steven. We got people saying that you're being too nice. What do you think?
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm being too nice? I'm not being too nice.
You think Palantir's going to zero or what?
I mean, I think there's some people that saw the rant last night. They just want freaking.
I didn't catch all of it. What did you and Chris talk about?
They want me to blow a gasket, is what they want. I think they want Steve to blow a gasket. I mean, if you want me to show it to you, I can show you the rant. I can reenact it for you, Matt, if you would like.
Reenact, and if rip that jacket. That jacket is sick, by the way. I love that.
So you know what it is? It's the Brooks Brothers Brooks Cool material. It is so so comfortable. It's not a normal sports jacket.
I got to look at their line. We got to see.
I don't even know if I couldn't find it the other day when I went to go get another one. But the material is great.
30% off the whole site, Steven. 40% off shirts if you're looking.
I'm gonna have to go. I need to go shopping. That's what I need to do. But whoa! Palantir went up today, sir. The valuation got a little bit more insane. All right, Matt. Are you ready?
Dude, how's this? How are these suits only $180? Okay, never mind. This is.
I don't even know what you're looking at.
Oh, it's just the jacket, not the pants.
What are you looking at?
Brooks Brothers. Trying to be rich like you, Steve. Ooh, let's see what a good quarter's at. Let's see what we got.
I'm just making sure that all the numbers are correct right now, ladies and gentlemen, and they are. All right, Matt. Here we go. Reenactment. Are you ready?
Reenact me, Steven.
Okay. Good old little company called Salesforce. Okay. You've heard of them. They're a $238 billion company doing $40 billion in revenue. All right. 11.8 billion of EBITDA, 8.8 billion in operating income, 13.5 billion cash from operations. Free cash flows of almost $13 billion. Okay. Currently, Palantir has a market cap that is $208 billion more. $208 billion more. It's almost double the market cap. Yet, they do $36.5 billion less in revenue. They do $11 billion less in EBITDA. They do $11.7 billion less in cash from operations. And they're doing $11 billion less in free cash flow. Now, I am not saying Palantir is not going to expand in the future and they're not going to become more profitable. But if Salesforce is doing this and they are still growing, and I understand everybody is under the impression that Salesforce sucks, blah, 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 blah. I hate Salesforce. I hate using the product. Here's the difference. All these companies are still using Salesforce. So if these companies are still using Salesforce, then, I mean, Salesforce is still growing. They've never had a down year on revenue. So when I look at this, Palantir doing 1.8 billion in free cash flow, yet Salesforce is doing 13 billion. Even if Palantir was to double their revenue next year and the year after, they would still do less free cash flow than Salesforce. How do they have the same market? How do they have a market cap that's double right now? It just doesn't make sense. Like, based on the profitability, Palantir is so overvalued. And when you look at the multiples, 510 times EBITDA. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. I don't even think Tesla traded at that.
So you selling?
I mean, this is why I say you got to be suicidal to freaking short this thing because of the momentum and just everybody that buys it. But this thing, in my opinion, and my opinion does not matter, okay? And keep in mind, I was one of the first bulls on this company. It's documented. But should this thing
Oh, you think you're better than me?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, like, you were bullish prior to day one. I know that, okay? I am just saying that if you go and you look at who put out, because you weren't writing for Seeking Alpha then. So, like, I was putting articles out on Seeking Alpha right after this IPO, or went direct listing.
Get rid of this narrative ma'am guy. I don't care if you paid for a membership. It's your membership.
I don't even know.
I'm not a fan. He just keeps, he's just chatting. It's not even, he's just saying negative shit. Everything I've seen is negative. Get him out of here. Sorry.
Anyway, I know that you've been pro Palantir day one, same with me. At some point, though, it becomes dead money for a while until it doesn't. Now, can Palantir's valuation get even more stretched? Absolutely. The probability of that, though, is slim. I mean, look, Tesla's trading at like 130 times EBITDA. And that's even crazy. And that's why I put all these metrics. Even if we don't want to go off of EBITDA, if we just want to go off of free cash flow, paying 250 times free cash flow is crazy. I mean, even if we made up numbers here and figured, okay, at what point does Palantir get to, let's just say their EBITDA was 3 billion or 9, yeah, say 3.6 billion. Okay. They'd still trade at 124 times. And that's a 4x from where they are today on EBITDA. So that's why I'm saying, like, how much growth is pulled forward on this name that I don't know. I don't know. I look at the forward estimates from the analyst group, and sure, they got 95% EPS growth over the next 2 years, but they're still trading at 134 times 2027 earnings. Maybe these numbers don't matter. Maybe Palantir is the one company because they have the ring instead of it going into the freaking caverns of Mordor or whatever it is, and they didn't destroy the ring. Maybe they're wearing it and they have special powers. Maybe Karp's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat. I don't know. But can they sustain 50, 60% year-over-year growth rates? Maybe. Maybe they can, because if NVIDIA can do 63% at their size, I'm not going to say Palantir can't do 50% plus year over year. But even if they do, it's going to take them so long to grow into a multiple that where the rest of companies that are similar to them trade at, I think a lot of the upside is priced in.
Can I ask a question?
You can
There's
ask
two questions.
any question you want.
Two questions I want to ask.
Yes.
The first question. Is Trump calling Benioff to get him out of all these grinds and binds rather for manufacturing and being able to bring that back US and also the Ukraine? Is Trump calling him?
I'm not saying that Palantir is not an important company. I'm with you. Palantir is very important. They're getting a lot of contracts. But when I look at the numbers, it's a little rich.
I get it. No, I feel that. I completely understand that. But there's always a premium to be paid, right? Like just like Coca-Cola, you wouldn't expect, or like Pepsi, or who else? Google, you wouldn't expect to be trading less than 20 times because it deserves a premium. It's a premium business. It has a moat. It wouldn't. So I'm not saying. I mean, obviously we're far away from 20x, right? But my question to you then, the follow-up question to that is where do you think Palantir will be? Terminal. Where's the terminal market cap that you see Palantir should be worthwhile?
Look, I think Palantir is going to get to $1 trillion. Okay. I've been saying that I think Palantir is going to get to $1 trillion because I see a world where they're able to do 20 plus billion in free cash flow a year. Okay. The problem is I think it's going to take a good 8 to 10 years to get to 20 billion of free cash flow. I don't think, even if they do 50% revenue growth for the next 2 years, at some point, I don't think that growth rate is sustainable. And it's going to fall more into net dollar retention, which is one of the best net dollar retention levels I've ever seen. The fact that they're at 134% right now, and that does not include any of the contracts that they've done the past 12 months, is incredible. And that makes me actually think that they can sustain 50% revenue over the next 2 years. Now, after we get to that, the question is what happens? And we've never seen, I mean, we can argue that Palantir is one of the most important companies, and I'll argue it is. But now the question is it more important than a Microsoft? Is it more important than an Alphabet? I don't know that we can say yes or no, but
it doesn't need to be better, though. It needs to be slightly less or on par.
Even if it's on the same playing field, okay? Yeah. Those are companies that are not getting crazy multiples. Now, a lot of software companies, Palantir may be the best innovative software company right now in the market, and it should get a premium. And I'm not saying it shouldn't. It should definitely get a premium. But when I see these levels, it makes me worried that, man, if I was to buy more here, how long is it going to take for this to continue to make money? And what's the probability that it goes up rather than down at this point? And what would happen if they were to miss one quarter?
I hope it does.
I hope it doesn't, because I don't want people to lose money.
Well, how do I say this? I don't like it either, but it's inevitable. People most of the time get in their own way to making money. So, um, but I would love this to go back down. I'd love to buy more. I'd love to double my position, but that means people are probably going to lose money, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, I don't want people to lose money. So, look, I don't want it to go down. My biggest thing is that we've never seen a company sustain these types of levels, and that worries me.
Mhm.
Now, can it sustain these levels? Sure, it doesn't have to go down. There's no law. We know that the market does not price two companies the same. Every company prices differently for whatever reason. There's a huge sentiment around Palantir. But when I hear Ives come out and say Palantir to a trillion in 2 years from now, I start running the snares and I'm like, how? There's 8 companies that are $1 trillion company right now. And in 2 years, take Tesla out of it,
Yeah.
only because Tesla's there because of the potential from Optimus and FSD. If you take Tesla out of it, Palantir is not in 2 years going to be generating anywhere near the levels of profitability that the companies that are currently a trillion are. And that's what I'm saying, that I think it goes down before it goes higher. I do think it's going to be a trillion, but I think it's going to be a decade before we see it.
Mhm.
Now, I could be wrong. It could be there next. At this point, if it doubles, it'll be there. So maybe it gets there next year. Who knows?
So, say you were a Tyson Foods, or I don't know. Give me a company that you think is struggling right now.
Well, Tyson Foods is now a client of Palantir as of last year.
Yeah, but give me somebody. Give me.
I mean, you could use a Tyson. You could use General Mills, I guess. Kraft Heinz. I know where you're going at. That's why I'm throwing you those names.
Yeah, your company's in trouble. Are you calling Satya Nadella? Are you calling Alex Karp?
Well, for those companies, you're probably calling cart because you're probably looking for better distribution, a better way to distribute your goods. And you're not getting that from Microsoft's products. You're getting it from Palantir's manufacturing software.
Mhm. And so, how long before people recognize that Palantir is what Microsoft wishes they could be in terms of software? Right. Of course, Microsoft has its gaming business, and so take the enterprise software piece, carve it out of Microsoft, and tell me how long until people fully recognize that that is what Microsoft wishes they could be.
Well, I don't know if it's fair to say that because Microsoft has 3 things that Palantir will never have.
That's what I'm saying. Carve the enterprise software piece out of Microsoft.
Okay, carve it out. Okay.
Yes, carve it out.
So you're specifically talking about Fabric and Power BI.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll never be what Palantir is, my opinion.
And in terms of customizable software that you can use to really change your business and really make it a lean mean machine.
You know what I think? I think Palantir is the number one in that category. Here's the problem that I have. Okay, and it has nothing to do with valuation. A lot of companies.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's gonna come, right? I mean, in that
So,
respect, like, wouldn't you value if you're telling me every time you have a problem, you want to put your company in the right direction, etc., you're gonna call Carp rather than Della, specifically for enterprise software. Who I mean, what valuation can you put on that?
I mean, that's right now. That's an assumption, though, that they're going to. And while you and I think that they should, if they're in trouble, we don't know that they actually will, and if that will actually translate into additional revenue. Now, when I look at this, I have a hard time understanding how a lot of mid-size and small-size companies, not large enterprise, but one of the biggest things is expenses. And Palantir does not have an ERP solution in the way of a SAP or an Oracle or a Workday. Their enterprise resource is something completely different. And a lot of companies don't want to spend on all these different things. And I think that that is a barrier to entry unless Palantir comes out with a financial and HR system on their manufacturing ERP system and can make a push into it saying that we know that your whole organization, from budgets to accounts payable to accounts receivable to payroll to learning and talent to your HR needs, recruiting, et cetera, is all in these other environments. But you want to use us for manufacturing, we're now going to give you the opportunity to have all those modules in our platform. I think if they really want to get to that scale, they need to build an all encompassing platform because they're not on anybody's radar for those areas.
I wish I could tell you what I know, Stephen, but I can't.
I wish you could tell me also.
I mean, what I can say is we basically created a tool that feeds our SAP to be able to, using Foundry, right? Using Foundry, we've created a tool with Fusion and a couple other things that basically spits out an SAP output so you can load it up into SAP. To me, that's an additional step that you don't need. Why do I need SAP? I already have it in Palantir. Palantir can easily and does make dashboards for it. It's just not in a fancy SAP Power BI dashboard that people want to see. So, of course, we have to put it into an SAP Power BI dashboard that people want to see.
Right. But I mean, when you look at your, and I don't want to get, I'm going to speak very vaguely. Okay. So don't elaborate, just keep the conversation very vague. When you are at a big company and you have HR software and finance software, there are a lot of things that you just do in there that are not done in other platforms. And the whole idea around an ERP system is to get rid of 6 or 7 different platforms and put them into one. Now, whether you're pulling the data from the ERP into Palantir to try to make better decisions or not, it's a moot point because you're not paying your bills out of Palantir. You're not running your payroll out of Palantir. You're not doing your learning and talent out of Palantir. And at the end of the day, Palantir is an additional cost onto those systems that are fundamental business needs. And I'm not saying that Palantir software is not a fundamental business need, but for businesses that are not in engineering and manufacturing, and they truly need a solution for back office services, the only options right now, truly, if you want to piecemeal it out, you can go with companies like Paycom or ADP for the HRIS, and then you can get other platforms such as Sage or other things for your finance stuff. If you want ERP, the 4 big ones right now are Dynamics, Workday, SAP, and Oracle. Now, my argument is Palantir should get in the game and build something and go toe-to-toe with those 4 giants. Now, if they're going to, I have no idea, but they do not have a product right now that goes toe-to-toe or can do any of that stuff.
How do you know, Stephen?
Oh, if they did, they'd be selling it.
How do you know they aren't?
Are they selling it? Is it something that they are selling?
Well, I mean, the thing is that the thing that's beautiful about Palantir that is unlike any other software company is they will make customizable software for whatever solution you want to. And so who's to say that a payments company or whomever, I mean, you have to think that's what Palantir started off as, is recognizing and looking through finance transaction data. So you mean to tell me they couldn't be able to figure out how to do accounts receivable and accounts? I mean, to me, it just seems like yes, just because they haven't taken it over from SAP or whomever as of yet doesn't mean that they can't. I think that they're focusing on big deals that can eventually get them hooked on software, and then they try to upsell for other things.
So I'm in agreement that they will build whatever you need them to build. But when you go look at their product offerings on the website, none of this stuff that I'm talking about is on there. And to me, if they are able to do this and already have platforms like this, that's a huge disservice to not just the company, but to shareholders. Because every business needs payroll. Every business needs accounts payable and accounts receivable. Every business needs these back office solutions I'm talking about. So if Palantir really does have that stuff, shame on them for not publicizing it.
Well, I mean, to me, I mean, maybe this is me speaking out of turn, but I mean, isn't that a lot of what supply chain management is? They see the contracts and invoices come in, they are able to then kind of monetize those things. I mean, I know they're disparate, but I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't
No,
know.
it's not. Supply chain management is not what I'm talking about. Supply chain management is something completely different.
I know it's different, but to me,
Completely
it's like
different. It's not in the same
you're
realm.
still managing things coming in and being able to uh to kind of process data in a way that I think you could easily kind of translate to back end and finance and HR. I just don't think it's
Right. So I'm on Oracle's website. Okay. So if you go to Palantir's website, are you going to find products for enterprise performance management, risk management, compliance, and financial management, and everything from payroll to payables and expenses, receivables and cash? You know that I follow Palantir pretty closely. I don't see any of this stuff with them. Like, this is what I am talking about when I am discussing Palantir should reinvent their system and expand it into all these areas and go outside of supply chain management and manufacturing and do straight up HR and finance, because HR and finance are much bigger than supply chain management. Because not every company needs supply chain management, but every company needs financial and HR tools.
Mhm.
The TAM would be significantly bigger.
So let me ask a question. So then why do they have partnerships with all these companies then? Do you think and integrate well with them? So they integrate with SAP, they integrate with Oracle.
Right. To pull the data in and help you make decisions. They should go a step further and actually make a better product.
But don't you think that that's something that is in their remit that they can do?
I'm not saying that they can or they can't do it. I'm saying that they do not have a standalone product that can go up against these products on a one-to-one basis.
Yet.
Yet is the main function.
You have to. This is the beautiful thing about Palantir that I don't think people fully recognize is like the company will innovate till kingdom come, right? They have a chat bot that'll build you whatever sort of software that you need in Foundry, or applications within Foundry, right? Like it's insanity what you can do with AI FDE. Basically, it's a chat prompt that you use and will basically normally you used to have a forward deployment engineer that would come to your office. You'd give them all your problems. This is why people think that Palantir is a consultancy. And then here you have then this chatbot that kind of has been programmed to think like these forward deployment engineers, and you just chat with it. This is all the data that I have. This is all the problems that I'm experiencing, etc. And it'll straight up allow you to kind of build all these different things that you need. In all honesty, I'm sure if you used an AI FDE product, that you would be able to eventually come up with some sort of ERP system that's usable. And the thing is like 6 months ago, a year ago, did you think that Palantir had a specific product to manufacture ships? What about 6 months? Ships.
No.
6 months to a year. A year or so before that, did you know that they had proprietary software that would be able to help you manage hospitals?
They discussed it slightly, but no, they were not onboarding systems like Cleveland Clinic or Tampa Hospital.
Mm-hmm. So what makes you think that they're going to stop where they've stopped today?
I'm not saying they are.
And not take
I'm saying that in order for them to expand the TAM and grab a bigger market share and keep the growth where it is, they need to make a product that is not an augment to the current systems, but one that takes customers away. Because right now, customers are not leaving an SAP or an Oracle for Palantir.
Not yet,
Maybe they will in the future. And if that happens, it's a completely different ballgame for Palantir because now it's a much bigger TAM. And I'm not saying that they can't do it. I'm just saying that they should do it.
How many companies that are building our software within our company or that we interface with, aside from oil field services companies, let's remove them, do you think I've actually sat with and had conversations with about what do I need to do to get my job done?
You cut out. What do I need to do to what?
How many other companies like Microsoft's, Google's, etc. do you think I have talked to as a frontline employee of the company that I work for to be able to develop software to be able to get what I get done?
Probably only one company other than Palantir. And I know exactly which one it is. There's probably only one, and it's probably not nearly as good as what Palantir can offer you because you're not going to certain companies for something like that.
I mean, other than Honeywell that does instrumentation and things like that on our facilities, I've only talked to Palantir. Microsoft has never come knock on my door. They've never asked me what I would need, ever.
Well, Google's
so when it comes to when you have this layer of people developing now up into these organizations of who do they trust? Well, who have they actually gotten hands-on love and affection from that actually want to help them succeed, find their problems rather than just sign on this dotted line so we can collect a paycheck? And the answer is Palantir. And so to me, it's like when I see anything going on, and the same thing with NATO, right? Like, who's NATO trusting? Is NATO calling up Satya Nadella? Hey, we need your help building software. Are they calling Palantir?
Oh, look, Palantir is the de facto go-to for many different industries. The big thing right now is low customer base and getting into the ERP game would expand that probably 5 to 10 fold, which is huge because then one of the last bear cases gets negated right off the bat because a lot of people try to make a bear case around Palantir saying, well, they have less than 1,000 clients and how much can they really expand given their pricing, et cetera, et cetera. But they give a product like this that pretty much every small to mid-sized business needs, and especially large businesses. Then you are no longer talking about 1,000 customers. You're talking about tens of thousands of customers. I mean, I've been saying they should be getting into this for years now.
I mean, they're working with all the right people, right? They're integrating with SAP. They're integrating with Oracle. They're integrating with Accenture. They just had a deal today with Accenture. They're dealing with Deloitte. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. Eventually, Steven, I don't know. I think eventually they're going to come for the pie. And they're not going to take a piece of it. I think they're going to take like maybe not 90%. They're going to take a large portion of it.
And I don't doubt they will.
I'm not saying that Oracle and them are going to zero or anything like that, but I'm just saying like these guys are different. And the only reason why people wouldn't use them is because they have some sort of political agenda against them.
Well, it doesn't change the fact that right now they're trading at over 500 times.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
EBITDA and over 400 times net income. And all I'm saying at this point is it would be very hard for me to add here. And I don't understand why this is still at these levels. Now, can it grow into this? If this trades sideways for 3 years, I don't think it has to fall. If this trades sideways for 3 years and grows into it, which it definitely could, I wouldn't have a problem with that because it's an amazing company. This isn't an Oklo that had no business being here. I mean, there's a reason Palantir got to where it is. This is not some high beta name that's pre-revenue or just starting out. Now, the question is, are they going to be able to keep these multiples for the next year or two? That's the real question. We don't know if they're going to or not.
No, we don't.
It's all going to depend on how much they're able to grow.
We don't know, Steven.
So that's the rant on Palantir. That was a little bit longer than I had expected. So what are we
No,
buying?
it's nothing wrong with it. I already told you what I'm buying, Steven. What
Oh,
questions do
I
you have
know,
about what I
I
bought?
know. But I mean, there's nothing else you're looking at?
Rocket Lab is going to be a 250 potentially $1 billion company or more.
So I'm going to blow your mind. Are you ready?
You bought Rocket Lab?
I think SpaceX going public is so bullish for Rocket Lab.
It wouldn't be bearish.
No, it wouldn't.
Did you get my answer that I was waiting for yesterday?
Oh, I'm not doing it.
Why, do you hate me? Is that what it is?
No, I'll read you. So Matt's asking me about SpaceX right now. They take a 12 to 15% commission. So I am not doing it
Yeah.
because the fact that it's expected to IPO at 800 billion and not knowing the numbers, I mean, there's a chance that this can get cut in half within a month.
Hmm?
And I won't be able to sell for 6 months. And they take a 12 to 15% commission. So something like this, where I think the valuation, once it actually comes out, could have people scratching their heads. I could never do it.
Yeah. Who knows? So what you were going to pull up something about why SpaceX is bullish for Rocket Lab?
No, I was just saying, I think SpaceX going public is bullish for Rocket Lab.
There you go. What other questions do you have about the stocks that I'm buying? Amazon, Dutch Brothers, Northern
Well,
Oil
I
and
mean,
Gas, Granite
Amazon, I
Ridge.
think we both agree that Amazon is going to continue to do well, even though it's been sideways and it's underperformed for the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm. The thing I'm looking at is I'm looking for robotics, but I don't know. I'm just like cautiously optimistic that some of these things are going to get smacked, and I think I need a nice flush in the market to. I think we've gotten a partial flush, but I still think that there's some companies hanging in there that will eventually get knocked out. I need like a good 2022 like event to see where the poop is. Well, Doug just kind of stated one that I've been looking at as well.
Which one?
Aptronic.
I haven't even looked at them.
Yeah. Damn it, Doug. You got me thinking again.
You see, Databricks is considering going public.
Databricks is finished.
Are they really?
I would not personally put money in them.
Interesting. Okay.
I just know the products that we've so this might be biased based off of my experience. The products we've built within Databricks versus the products that we've built with Palantir is a night and day difference. And it's mostly the same data. I think Databricks is good if you have static data. I could be wrong again. Once again, like I think this is a very so take this with a grain of salt. This is just my experience, what I've seen internally at our company. We have been bullish on both. We have picked up both. They've been around. Databricks is not long as Palantir. Palantir, obviously, but every single day when I have the opportunity to pick up one or the other to get my data, I'm picking up Palantir. And it's not to say that Databricks doesn't have that information. It does. It's just, I don't know. maybe it's just and like I said, this could be Matt bias because of just I'm almost been using Foundry for 10 years almost. So when it comes to maybe it's just an old thing, maybe it's my Virginia, my lucky strikes, maybe I had to smoke them because they gave it to me in the service. I don't know. I have no idea if that's the case, but I've just been thoroughly unimpressed by what I see at Databricks.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with either of them, so couldn't tell you.
Somebody's
Couldn't
asking, is Rocket Lab actually becoming more of a satellite manufacturer? 70% of Rocket Lab's revenue comes from space systems. That includes building satellites for other people. That's
we
today.
get data
That's
centers on the moon, Matt.
we need to get data centers here first.
We do need to get data centers here first. We do.
But on the moon, I don't know. They're putting chips in space. Rocket Lab just put a chip in space the other day. They put a maybe they were supposed to. What's this mission for? His name is Steven. Steven. Mission's launched. Ooh, Steven. Steven. Okay. They have the press kit. Let's interview. Where's the press kit, Steven?
I don't know. You gotta find them, man. We gotta do some research on SMCI. I think the chat is onto something with this. And I don't think I mean, are you gonna pull up a press kit?
Let me see. Launch images, webcasts.
So everybody in the chat, I'm gonna tell you right now, over the next several days, I'm gonna do a deep dive on SMCI privately, and then I'll come back. After looking at this, I think it does not want to go below 30. And based on what NVIDIA is doing and what Broadcom said and what Oracle said on the conference calls and the rest of the hyperscalers, SMCI is looking interesting again. Really is.
Can you really not?
What are you looking for, Maddie?
They have press kits every time they have that kind of explain what the mission's about, what they're doing it for, whatever. But then I don't know where they store them after they've been launched.
Dude, text the CEO and be like, hey, have one of the underlings send me a press kit. I know you got their numbers in your phone.
They have one for the next launch, but not for the previous one. Anyway. No, I don't get that information like you, Steven.
I mean, what do you think about Robinhood? They got a big event tonight in 25 minutes.
What's it about?
I don't know. I know Amit's going live in 25 minutes for the Robinhood event. I don't even know what it's about.
Is it gonna be live on the field, or is it gonna be?
No, I think they're streaming it.
Boo.
Do you own Robinhood?
I have a Leap. So when Amit bought Rocket Lab for the first time, I bought a Leap on Robinhood at $40. So it's done well.
Oh,
Leap
this
is
is
done well.
going live in 10 minutes. Palantir, I'm sorry, Robinhood presents yes, no.
Probably their proprietary prediction markets.
So, yeah, Robinhood, Cortex, and prediction markets take the stage. Join us and be among the first to see our new products in action. Presented by Vlad.
Rent by Hot Steven, man.
I mean, we should have bought Robinhood. I was way more bullish on SoFi.
We can't buy everything, Steven.
We can though. We can, Matt.
What are we buying, Steven?
I mean, I do think we're going to get a rotation into value and not Apple and Microsoft. I think we get a rotation into value, and I think there's some interesting plays for next year. Outside of what annoys me?
QXO? Is this your QXO rant?
No, Citigroup annoys me. Like, think about this. Citigroup is at $111, and they just got upgraded from JP Morgan to overweight. It's like, where were you when this was 40? Where were you when this had a freaking traded at 70 cents on the dollar against its book value? Where were you? I don't know.
You're not wrong, Steve. You're definitely not. But let me ask you a question. Where were you? No, I'm just kidding. But
you did not just say that. Are you challenging me, sir?
No, but challenging me? So I think the same thing. So my one buddy was telling me, he's like, Matt, he's like, why not Wells Fargo? It's trading at like 70, 80 bucks now. And I used to have 1,000 shares of Wells Fargo, right? I was just like, I need to get 1,000 shares of Wells Fargo, right? Because like then you feel like you're somebody. Once you get to 1,000 shares or something, you're like, I am somebody.
By the way, Matt, before you keep going with Wells Fargo, this is where I was. Citigroup was my top value idea, which was yielding 5%. October 16, 2023. It's up 172%.
It's not enough, Steven.
And 193% when you add the dividend in. This was trading at $40.95 a share when I put this article out. So, like, not enough, where Steve. Was everybody then?
Not enough. But it's the same thing. I mean, I forget what Wells Fargo's at, but somebody was just like, and I was like, damn, I was like, I'd have close to
Wells is done good.
But you think about it. I had at one point $50,000 in Wells Fargo. And maybe that would be worth $80,000 today. I probably sold that
when you bought it. Wells is up 210% in the past 5 years.
From what point? What's the price? What's the price today?
92.
Oh, 92. Okay. So I'd have $92,000.
So
if I didn't continue to buy, right? But instead I use that and probably put it into something like Palantir or Rocket Lab. And those have made me slightly more than $42,000. So I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's like they're great companies, right? And it goes back to risk tolerance, right? Like I bought Palantir because of my conviction, my usage. Everyone else was sitting there being like, it's a black box. And I'm like, do you even use the software? Like, do you even know? And the answer was always no. And the answer is still always no. And so, people are confused by it because they've never gotten their hands on it. But everyone that I've met that has gotten their hands on it, generally speaking, is extremely bullish. So going back to that piece, is like the same thing with Rocket Lab. It was like $2 billion. So anyway, it's not to say that you can't make money in non-fancy, expensive companies. Like there's another company right now that I think is slightly overvalued in terms of expense, and it's a company I actually might put money into. And I know Julie, I don't know if she's in here, but she also
What
owns
company?
this one. What's that?
What's the company?
I don't know if I'm ready to just to divulge that
Whoa,
information, Steven.
you're holding out on us?
I might be. I might be.
Wow.
And I'll tell you off stream though. But I recognize that when I say a company, like everyone like wants to dive into it, and I don't know if I'm ready to like give it that stamp of approval as of yet.
That's because you're the guru.
Not really. Everyone thinks I'm an idiot because I bought VG, but I guess we'll have to wait 5 years and see who's an idiot.
In all seriousness, though, you're buying for the same reason I'm buying, long-term thesis. In the short term, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. And it doesn't matter because we're not planning on selling. So I've had stuff go down. I mean, look at SoFi. I started my position in SoFi at 18 and it went all the way down to 450.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been there.
Oh yeah, it was down 30% or something on Palantir. I think my average was like at one point 10 or $11 or something like that. Because it went up to like 20 something in 2020, and I kept buying, or 20, at the end of 2020, and I kept buying, and then eventually it dipped down all the way to like $6-7. So I was down massively. But it didn't mean that the future potential of the company. Of course, if it went bankrupt, different story. But I could see the numbers are all going in the right direction. Same thing with VG and same thing with Rocket Lab. Like a lot of these things are going in the right direction. They have the capital to keep going. So,
Yeah, look, a lot of people are there at BM&R. I'm there at BM&R.
what's that?
I'm there with BM&R right now.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to buy BM&R like in crypto winter. Like I've never.
We're not in crypto winter.
No, this was far from crypto winter.
Oh boy!
I just think it's funny. 3 months ago, everyone was like, "Crypto winter's never happening. The toots are involved in crypto now. It's never going down." And then how the tables have turned. Everyone's like, we're in winter, guys. Winter's here." And I'm like, "This is not winter, my guys. If you think this is winter, you better get a sock for your nuts so they can stay warm." So
you can call Apple and have them make you one because they're pretty good at making freaking socks for iPhones.
The iNut.
Oh my god, what is wrong with them?
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think people just, and I get it, it's an emotional thing. Losing money is emotional, but market doesn't give a flying fuck if I'm up, if I'm down. And this is when this is why I get in it with people all the time. They're like, "Matt, this is actually pretty funny." This one guy kept giving me shit. He's like, "You won't even give us percentages. You won't give me how much money you're up on certain stocks." I'm like, why does it matter if I'm up or down or sideways? Right? Yeah. Like, it doesn't. And so then he kept bugging me for 3 days. He kept messaging me. I DM'd him my portfolio position on something, and I spent like 5 minutes. He looked at it and he never responded or said anything. So when people are sitting there like, I guarantee it's not going to change anything that he does. Or she. I don't know if it's a he or she, to be honest. But like,
I'll tell you this.
I just think it's funny.
And I know I've been saying this, I'm getting closer to buying both CoreWeave and Nebius. I still lukewarm on them. They're getting to where the valuations, for me, looking 2-3 years out, look interesting. I mean, CoreWeave here is just under 70 is very interesting.
A lot of people, we got Hot Tevi in here.
Yeah, the Nebius guy, Tevis. Tevis, do you want a link?
I think Tevis secretly hates us both.
Tevis definitely secretly hates us.
Tevi thinks he's better than me because he's financially ruining me over this bet.
Well, I'd like to talk about the bet. Maybe he'll come on. Maybe he'll grace us with his presence.
I'll never financially recover, Steven. I'm just excited. I'm excited because like I think we promised like a gentleman's sort of agreement. Like we won't give somebody $500, but like we'll spend it on something. Like if we go to the resort or go on a trip or something, we'll buy like a bottle of champagne or something.
Somebody's picking up the booze.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what we end up doing. I would love that because then we both enjoy. So look at that. I got my bucket in the back if I need to throw up. You see that?
I mean, Tevis won't even
If
look. Tevis won't even look at the WhatsApp message.
he's like acting like he's not he's not getting the message.
He's acting like he didn't hear the ping go off. Okay.
Probably got a.
Oh wait, he's responding.
He's probably got an Asian baddie in there.
Dude, you're having dinner. So what? I'm drinking coffee. Matt's got water in front of him. We all got something.
Tell the lady you're with that you need to feed her lifestyle, and you can't be giving these little scraps. You need more money. You need more of it. So you gotta get on stream with the big boys.
We want to interview Tevis.
Meanwhile, Tevis has more subscribers than I do, and you're about to surpass me in like I don't know a week or something like that. So I like to pick on Tevis, but Tevis is a goddamn animal, man. He's killing it on his YouTube.
Tevis is a absolute animal. But
didn't he do Bootleg Weekly today or no?
What?
Did he do Bootleg Weekly today or no?
Yeah, I think him and Roy did it before.
Okay.
Are you interested in CoreWeave or Nebius, Matt?
Honestly, I haven't done enough due diligence, and I should. I there's a lot of stocks that I feel bad. Like I keep with my I don't follow a lot of stocks, and it's not out of the fact that I dislike them. Like just because I didn't buy BM&R doesn't mean I would never buy BM&R. I think BM&R is going to be great. It's just not for where I view crypto like I view oil and gas. It's cyclical, so you have to be calculated on if you dive both feet in the pool. Oh, they're live right now?
I mean, I feel bad for people who are in CoreWeave because I know that there's people that got in on the way up here. And I was saying, this is insane. This is not this move is not normal. Okay. I mean, think about if you bought it anywhere, like it went up here and then it gets to 150, you're like, all right, it's my chance. It's coming down a little bit. I mean, this has got to be painful. And I don't know. The reason I'm not in yet is because I don't know if this move is the last move down. I just don't know.
Well, then who cares? Where do you see it? This is where sorry to push back respectively. Where do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be a $36 billion company in 5 years from now?
So, and I know where you're going at, and this is the way I'm thinking. While, yes, I think it's going to be a bigger company in the future than it is today, and I could buy now, and if it keeps going down, buy more, I would rather wait until this down leg is finished and either plateaus out or breaks and keeps going lower. I'd rather buy it at 75 with this plateauing out and going up just a bit because I'd feel better that it's not going to break below 50. Like
market doesn't give a shit how you feel, Steven. Yeah, I would buy more. I just, I hear what you're saying. So it doesn't sound like you like it enough to actually, if you think it's going to be higher in the long term.
I do like the numbers behind CoreWeave, though. I gotta say, I mean, looking at the actual numbers, I don't mind them. Look at that growth. I mean, that's 115% growth year over year on revenue. Not enough. So we'll see. I mean,
it's more revenue than Palantir.
Dude, they're trading at freaking. If these analysts are right, this is a lot of analysts calling this. They're going to go from not generating any earnings to massive earnings in a flip of a switch. Like that's why I'm getting interested in CoreWeave.
So you're going to trade at 221. It's already $60. So 4 to 4, 32. That makes sense. 33.
And keep in mind, this is over in 2 weeks this year. So we got one more year of negative earnings. CoreWeave is something I would consider starting to scale into because of what 2027 is projected to look like.
Then this is the thing. Like, would you be upset if it ran to 100 and you didn't get involved?
No. I don't have FOMO like that. That's why.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is it's like if it's a company that I'm like, if I make a conscious decision, like I'm going back and forth with this one with Kalshi. It's like the reason why I'm not jumping both feet into the pool with Kalshi is I think that there's a regulatory risk, one, and then two, everybody and their mother is coming out with prediction markets.
Right.
So
and
like
Kalshi is just one more app that you need to have on your phone, one more account, one more provider that has your information, blah, blah, blah.
Precisely.
Yep. And if Robinhood comes out with pretty much everything that Kalshi has, why are you going to open up a Kalshi account?
Pretty much.
Unless
the only reason why I know about Kalshi is because of Robinhood.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough. But anyway, so where was I going with that? If I make a decision, I kind of make a decision. Am I okay with it? It's the things that somebody asked earlier, like, what did you miss? The thing I'm really upset about, Steven, is Union Pacific. Good old dividend stock where I'm like, you're never going to lose money in railroads.
UNP?
Yeah.
Why are you mad about Union Pacific?
Livid. I'm not even just mad. I'm livid. Not really.
Why?
You're never going to lose money in Union Pacific?
Have you seen the price? It's done nothing in 5 years. What are you mad at?
Really? Let me see.
18% in 5 years, Matt. You're thinking of something else. Union Pacific is sideways 5 years.
Huh. Maybe I was thinking back in 2022. Go 10-year. What's the 10-year look like?
200%.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just matching the S&P. That's nothing to be mad at.
What, back in from 2015 to 2022?
Yeah. If I bring up SPY 10 years.
Maybe you're right.
230%. Nothing to be mad at. Missing Union Pacific.
I don't know. I forget when I sold Union Pacific, but I thought it was pretty well valued and it kept running. But maybe I was right. Curious, where's Pepsi at?
I was looking at Pepsi not too long. Oh, boy. All right, everybody. We're going to have to hold the horses on Pepsi for a moment.
You know who convinced me to sell Pepsi? Bring him up.
What was it? This guy?
I did.
Exactly.
In a white shirt?
Yeah, fuck Pepsi, bro. We're going to talk about why Steve hates Nebius is what we're talking about.
Yeah, give me the rundown.
I don't know, Steve. Give us the rundown. Why do you hate Nebius? All right.
So I actually just brought Nebius up also.
No. I was listening while eating.
No, hold on. I was talking about CoreWeave.
Everybody put ones in the chat for Pedro Pascal.
Now I'm going to talk about Nebius. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to split the baby because Nebius is also trading at freaking 34 times 2027 earnings. These two companies are expected to do so much in 2 years. The problem is Nebius has almost no analysts following them versus CoreWeave, which gives me a little bit more confidence in going CoreWeave over Nebius.
Yeah, that's because you over-index on analysts, bro.
Well, sure. But I would like to use this time to discuss a little gentleman's wager that the two of you made. We have 15 days left in the year.
Not going to recover.
SoFi is trading at what, 26.70 or something like that. Let's start with Tevis. How you feeling about SoFi at 26.58? It's no longer the padding that you had at 30. Do you think it finishes above 25?
Steve, I know you're a master at changing the subject. All right. Let me just hold on. I'll answer.
Just because he's wearing a jacket, he can just control the conversation.
You and your freaking blazer think you're better than us. All right.
Matt started this off with freaking wearing
We'll,
freaking.
we'll get to SoFi, okay?
Okay.
Throw up my screen right now. Just give me 1 sec.
You gotta share it first, sir.
Hold your horse.
I can't throw it up when it's not shareable.
I understand, Steven. Throw it up now. All right. You see these analysts here?
Yes.
You see their price targets on average?
No, because you gotta zoom in.
Tip ranks crashes my fucking computer. Hold on.
I don't think it's your computer. I think it's user error because you hit X out or something.
No, because my entire thing is crashing. Can one of you guys throw up the tip ranks for Nebius? I want to show you guys the actual analysts here.
I'll
Throw
bring
it
it
up there,
up.
Steven.
I'm bringing it up.
All right.
Let me move the coffee so I don't knock it over. Okay.
People showing the
Whoa.
love on the stream, Steven. I need to stream more.
Whoa.
They don't have as many analysts as CoreWeave because they're
164.20, sir, average.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So if you look at analysts, generally speaking, they're not ones to stick their neck out. But on this particular company, the average price target is like double of where we are right now.
Okay.
Any thoughts there?
I don't know. What's
That
the
doesn't
report with
change.
this?
That doesn't change. What you think.
Steven, the rebuttal?
I don't have a rebuttal at all. I may have to buy both of them.
For someone that always says that other people are shook, I think Steven's the one that's shook.
Oh, I never said I wasn't shook about these.
Huh?
I never said I wasn't shook. I'm shook.
Why are you shook, Steven?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't be. I mean, I trust Tevis, and Tevis has got a ton of conviction on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I also want to show you this, and I was showing this. Can you throw down your screen for a sec? I was showing this on the bootleg. Today we got news around Databricks and Waymo seeking funding at crazy valuations. So Databricks raising $4 billion at 134, and they're going to go public in 2026. So they're going to be higher than that. Waymo seeking 15 at near 100 billion, going as high as 110 billion in valuation. Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Avride here, which is the only other company other than Waymo and Tesla to do autonomous robotaxi in partnership with Uber. That's $4 billion, Steve. And then you have ClickHouse, which benchmarked better than Databricks from an efficiency standpoint. That's only $6 billion for the whole company. And you could have a stake in both of those through Nebius, which is $20 billion.
I thought you were talking about stake because you said AV ride and got me thinking about it.
Bro, I wish. But you guys dragged me onto this pod and I couldn't even finish my dinner properly. But
don't blame me.
I had to jump on to correct Steve. So look,
You got to defend something.
Just their subsidiaries, Steve, are not accounted for in their current valuation. The company's $20 billion and they have 28% of the $6 billion company. Dude, if ClickHouse raised money tomorrow, they would easily be double what the valuation is right now, given where Databricks is trading. So I'm just saying, like, there's a lot to like. And I'm not even getting into the US data center stuff, which is not priced into Nebius. I'm not even getting into the European build out, which is not priced into Nebius, the 20 billion euros for 5 data centers. And I'm not even getting into the fact that they have over half of the next year booked already from an ARR perspective.
Silly question because I'm not following because I'm not smart. Buying Nebius, you're able to get access to all those. What in particular? I'm confused. Like, what percentage does Nebius own in those things?
So Nebius owns 28% of ClickHouse, and Nebius owns, I believe it's like 80-something% of Avride.
80? 80?
Yeah, it's like 83%.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then they also own stakes in other companies as well. Like they have Toloka stake, they have a bunch of other stakes as well. And I mean, look, man, I think it's one of the reasons why I'm choosing Nebius over anybody else. It's the vertical integration. Yeah, they have an 83% stake in Avride. It's the vertical integration, and it's the fact that they have all these subsidiaries, which gives them diversification across the board. But like, okay, think of Avride, right? They're $4 to $5 billion as of their latest valuation round, right? In partnership with Uber, like, okay, say $5 billion. Nebius owns 83%. That's $4 billion right there that Nebius should have accounted for in their company valuation, plus the $2 billion just from their stake in ClickHouse at 2024 valuations again. That brings up to $6 billion out of 20, which is where the company is trading for. Nebius right now is trading, Steve, at a lower market cap than the Microsoft deal and the Meta deal combined. Just those two deals were over $22 billion, something like that, $23 billion. And Nebius right now is trading at $20 billion. With nothing else included, no subsidiaries, no forward growth, nothing. Just those two deals alone, the market cap is under what that is.
Steven, the rebuttal?
He's too shook to even unmute, bro.
I didn't even realize I was on mute. No, there is no rebuttal. My big thing was I wanted to actually get exposure to both of these at some point, and I thought they got too rich. After listening to Tevis and looking at it, I think that they're both going to do well in the future. I'm just not sure if the sell-off is done yet or not. But I am planning on picking both up.
Why would you pick CoreWeave over Nebius? Do you like debt?
Do I like debt?
Yeah, are you a fan of the debt that CoreWeave has?
Hold on. Nebius has got $4 billion. What does CoreWeave have?
More than that.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. CoreWeave has half of what Nebius has in market cap. They have it in debt.
CoreWeave is also doing 2.3 billion EBITDA, and Nebius is doing negative EBITDA. There's a difference.
Okay, what do their growth rates look like?
I have not ran the numbers on growth rates. Where's that music going from?
I would take a look at that.
Just if you know what they are, just tell me.
Nebius has like insane growth rates, man. It's like 400%.
Nebius's total revenue is also 363 million, whereas CoreWeave is doing, was it 4 billion, and they grew 115% year over year. Like, I don't know enough about the two of them to make a decision. They both look interesting based on where people see the profitability going.
Mm-hmm.
CoreWeave looks more interesting to me only because it's more proven with the amount of EBITDA that they're doing.
Yeah. Look, I think the entire space is going to have secular tailwinds going into 26, and obviously demand far outstrips supply across the board. I think this new bill, I don't know if you guys talked about it or not, this new bill is also going to help with data center build out, this speed bill. Somebody mentioned it on our podcast earlier today. And then you have the new US data centers that Nebius is building out, I think, to also help. Again, I think you're like, if you hit a dart across the board at these companies with the growth that you're seeing as a whole, with the rising tide in terms of the AI demand, I think you're bound to do well. It's just a matter of how much is baked into the price from a forward growth perspective. And I think where Nebius is trading right now, there's not much that's baked into the growth. And even just analysts alone will tell you that. Like, look at the like, you're having analysts put out $200 price targets here. So
You're not wrong, Tavis. You're not wrong.
that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna hop off now, and finish eating my food. Thank you for the opportunity, gentlemen. Love the both of you.
But you didn't even address SoFi.
Oh, yeah. I think SoFi, there is a potential. So what I said in the bootleg podcast, because somebody asked, was I think I still have it in the bag, the 500 pesos. I think that it's too close for comfort. I would have loved if we were, above $30 right now. But I think I'll still manage to, if we have a Santa Claus rally, 26th to 31st, I don't think this thing is going under 25. If it does go under 25 and holds under 25 until the end of the year, then I will happily buy the drinks in Mexico, Matthew. Or we can go double or nothing.
Steven, what would you do? Double or nothing, or would you just take the $500 in drinks?
No, you gotta give him an opportunity to win his money back.
No. Well, I would say double or nothing, like even if I won.
Yeah, either way, you gotta give the man an opportunity to win his money back.
That's what we talked about last week. I'd still make that deal. Double or nothing at 45, Steve, by end of 26.
Oof. That's a good bet. Because I can't decide either way which way I take. That's a good bet.
Yeah, it's got to close the year above 45.
That's a good bet. I like that bet.
What would you do, Steven?
I mean,
taking the over? You taking the under?
I think I would take the over, and I have several reasons why I would take the over. And I'm sure everybody thought I was going to say I'd take the under, but 2026 could be a huge year for SoFi for the simple fact that I think we're going to get more rate cuts than what's being priced in. That's going to expand the NIM because SoFi will be paying less on the deposits, and they're still getting all the revenue from the fixed interest rates on the loans that they've already established. I think the housing market gets unlocked, and we see a lot of origination on home loans. Student loans gets unlocked. We see a lot of origination on that. I don't think personal loans slows down. I think that options and crypto trading does well. And I think that they close some really big deals on the banking platform that give it more of a tech feel to it than a banking feel. And I think they announced business banking with wealth management in 26. I think there's more catalysts in 26 than we potentially ever had before. And for that reason, I would go over on the 45.
I mean, I think that it crosses 45. My fear is that I don't know that it closes above 45. I think the macroeconomic fears are like the main thing, that if you have something that drags the entire market down, like we thought SoFi would cross 25, in 2023, we thought it in 2024, and it just happened in 2025 because of the macro, right? So that's the unpredictable portion of this. I think the catalysts are there for it to do it. I think Matt can very easily hedge himself. You can just buy some leaps for $45 and then cover the downside. So it's just, is he a chicken or not is the real question here.
Whoa, those be fighting words, man.
I'm looking for how I can weasel my way into some of these Cuban hotels. So, Steven, this will get you going. So, like, Tevis got me all fired up one night. Like, we were talking about, we need to get out of here. We were both needed a little bit. We were both burning out from work. We needed a little bit of a break. And Tev was like, I've been to Cuba a billion times. Like, I need to go, right? And I'm like, shit, like, this is awesome. He's like, yeah, there's great resorts. And he's like showing me pictures. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, why aren't we there right now? Like, this looks phenomenal. And then I'm like 85% certain that I can't go on these hotels. And Tevis is sitting there like, yes, you can. Like, I look it up. Obviously, I can't because of the Cuba-American relationship. But Tevis over here is drinking all these delicious mojitos and God knows what in these beautiful hotels that I can't even visit. I didn't even know they had hotels in Cuba like this. We're not allowed to see them. They're not even available on the internet.
Hey,
No
man,
bueno.
there's plenty of Latinas outside of Cuba as well, Matt, and you know this. All right. Imagine what $1,000 can get you in, say, Argentina or Colombia or wherever we decide to go. The only problem is that instead of going somewhere and drinking $500 worth of drinks next month, we'd have to forego another 12 months to go somewhere. Because that $1,000 is getting split between us one way or another with the drinks, whoever wins.
I
But-
think we need to go on a trip just to discuss this.
Yes, just have a board meeting.
Yeah, just a board meeting. Wish Steven could come, but we can't convince him to leave
Yeah,
tri-state
Steve-
area.
We could
Oh,
pay
sir.
Steve $1,000 and the free trip, and he would still not join.
Steve, you might run North Jersey, but you don't run your Uncle Junior.
Oh, oh. Anybody know where that reference is from? Anyone? Bueller?
Or is that like
Bueller?
Sopranos or something?
Yes,
Oh.
it is.
Oh. All right. Give us a little give us a little sneak peek of that mid-eaten steak.
I wish I had steak. I'm poor, man. I'm poor. Nebius has fallen. BMNR has fallen. SoFi's fallen. I'm eating ramen out here. Okay.
Nothing wrong
Hey,
with that.
Maddie tried warning us about BM&R. Maddie did try warning us. All right.
Matt
Did I
is-
actually?
He's wise beyond his years.
He
He's-
is.
I mean, he said when it gets to crypto winter, and I don't think we're at crypto winter, but he's right. He's right. He did warn us. And
He warned us.
I agree with the chat. It says Latinas are a top signal. The Canadian doesn't know. Yes. Sí, señor. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
I can't pull any women. I don't have that those good Pedro Pascal looks like Steven and Senor Tevis.
Steve with the blazer. I'm getting a little hot and bothered over here. Look at this,
So
man. Look at
Matt
this.
always dresses so well. I don't have the right shirt on, but my blazer was hanging on the door. So I'm like, I'll put the blazer on, mess with Matt, and I still haven't taken it off yet.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a 360, Steve.
No, I'm not getting up.
Matt, are we doing a little January trip? Go to H-Town?
Yeah. In H-Town? I was thinking
Whatever
you
you
were
want.
thinking like we need to get out of here. But
Or we can do New Year's Eve with Stevie Boy in New York. Steve, will you
Steven.
host us for New Year's Eve? Do a big party, Gatsby style?
No.
Okay.
Who the hell goes out on New Year's Eve?
I don't know. That's shocker. So
we just want to see you,
doing-
Steve.
I'll be doing a freaking New Year's Eve stream.
To who? Who's going to be watching that, man?
I'm telling you, there'll be a lot of people. You watch. New Year's Eve is rookie night.
Hey, man, I'm trying to find love in the streets of New York, you know?
Just saying.
I bet Steve's got plenty of chicks that he can set me up with. He's just holding back.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave now, and you guys can talk about traveling and all the.
Go
all the
enjoy
fun-
dinner, Tevis, and maybe you can watch the Robin Hood thing. Get excited about gambling.
Yes, sir. Always excited about
Predictions.
gambling. Yeah, like Pedro, my fellow Pedro says, Tevis is all about AI and women and gambling. Thank you very much, everybody. See ya.
He's a good
Oh, Tevis, great role model to society.
kid. Yeah, Latinos gambling. Great role model.
Great role model.
You're a good man, Steven. Are you calling it? You gonna watch this Robin Hood thing or what?
You're a better man. I think we're gonna call it. Any parting words, Matt?
Parting words. As always, just because somebody else, and as Steven kind of politely put at the beginning of the stream with his disclosure, I mean, just because somebody else is investing in something doesn't mean you have to. Always think about how it pertains to your portfolio. Somebody might be 65 years old and they could do better off just investing in some of these lower volatility dividend stocks, right? That might be what works out for them. So, as always, just take everything that we say for what we're doing for our portfolio, right? Steve invests differently than I do. I invest differently than Tevis does. And, that might be right or wrong depending on what you're looking for. So I'm investing in things that I believe are 10 years out in the horizon. Most of the time I do some swing trading every now and again, but majority of the time it's 10 years out. And so I have so many people that reach out to me, they're like, next 2 years, I need to buy this stock or that stock. And I'm like, neither. I can't guarantee in 2 years if that stock is going to go up, down, sideways. So, to me, I generally have a certain mindset, and I can't necessarily fit what I want to do and what fits in my portfolio for your portfolio needs. That's up for you.
Well, my parting words are, please go follow the one and only Real Matt Money on YouTube, please. Go follow Matt. And we'll be back probably on the weekend. We're trying to get something going here. We'll see. And Robinhood is live right now. Amit has almost a quarter of the viewers that Robinhood has on their own site. So if you're going to Amit's channel, please bombard his chat with code RED.
Code RED? Is that what we're doing?
Spam code RED in Amit's chat, please. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Love hanging out with everybody. See everybody tomorrow. Have a great night.
Thanks for having me on, Steve. You're the man.
You're the best, Matt.
You're the best.